need to rejig our thinking so that we can build a bigger market. The surpluses in Uganda can supply the deficits in Kenya, and the surpluses in Kenya can meet the deficits in Uganda and the rest of our region. Your Excellency, before you retire, and if possible in the next 2-3 years, we want to see the coming into fruition of the East African Federation. I think that is a debt you owe to us as East Africans. And we are here as leaders, as citizens of this East African Federation to support you and your colleagues, heads of state from this region, so that we can eliminate the barriers that unnecessarily impede trade, investment, movement of labor, and people working together. And if you had any doubt, Your Excellency, as to whether that is the right direction, you yourself have said that we need a center of gravity, reading your own literature. And you need not look further. You will be the one to work on that center of gravity, and it will be in this East Africa for us to consolidate the nations of our continent and bring to be the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, so that people in this continent can trade better, we can do business better, we can connect even better. Your Excellency, it's a great pleasure always to be in this great country, and thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to share with you the moments, the great moments of the launch of this first ever world-class facility here in Uganda. And I want to thank Matthews for offering to your sisters and brothers in Kenya that they will be beneficiaries in equal measure as the brothers and sisters here in Uganda. Brotherhood of the East African nations, which I know, Your Excellency, you're very passionate about, and you're a great champion. This investment, Your Excellency, is significant. Significant in 3 fundamental ways from where I sit. Number 1, Matthews Magola, who is the brain behind this great multi-billion investment, is an East African, and he is a Ugandan. Ordinarily, Your Excellency, investments of this magnitude have white faces. Ordinarily, it is people from Europe and America who engage in these investments. I want to say congratulations to Matthews. We are very proud of you as East Africans, that the language you are speaking of billions of dollars, we are domesticating it in our continent. It is new, but we have champions like you who are daring to walk the journey to invest in this space and in the magnitude that we have witnessed. Your Excellency, when Matthews, and it is very strange, when Matthews was putting together the financial package and the syndicate that would help finance his facility, He walked into my office in Nairobi like any other ordinary East African. And Equity Bank, I am not only a customer of Equity Bank, but they have assisted many of us in the little investments we have made. History again is being made in our continent that a huge investment like this ordinarily would be funded or financed by the World Bank or IMF or IFC and other major financial institutions. But we are very proud that our own East African institution, the Equity Bank, led the way in assembling the financials for this facility. It's yet another milestone. And at a personal level, Your Excellency, Matthews Magola is a scientist like me. So, although he's more successful and more intelligent than me, but let me just associate myself as a scientist to this great success that he has achieved. Like you, Your Excellency, you would have been a very good lawyer, but you were impatient with mediocrity, and you decided to go and do other things and lead a revolution and provide leadership. I was equally impatient with being a scientist, so I decided to follow in your footsteps and go to politics and try and sort out mediocrity also in Kenya. But let me say to my good friend Mugola, you are lucky because you have a great mentor and leader that has provided the necessary support for these investments to take place. Your Excellency, let me say on behalf of other East Africans that your leadership, that you speak straight and you encourage East Africans to invest here in East Africa, goes a long way in changing the destiny of our region, and you have our support. Africa was the continent of conflict and war and disease by the description of others. But we are describing Africa anew, that it is the continent of opportunity. It is the continent with the highest return on investment. It is the continent with the youngest population. It is the continent that has 65% of the remaining arable land to be able to feed this globe. So Africa is the continent of opportunity. And having said that, it is very reassuring that citizens of this continent, specifically East Africans like Matthew, are turning our challenges into opportunity. That Africa will now be the place we will be producing through the M&A technology. We will be producing medicine and drugs that will not only deal with our challenge of health in our continent, but also, hearing from Matthew, we will also supply the rest of the globe. It is indeed a very gratifying moment that Africa can be no longer the solution, no longer the source of problems, but the source of solutions for not just African issues, but global issues as well.
Now the business community, we're so glad Your Excellency and Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, also have you for coming